여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in taking a deep dive into the heart of Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news and the latest in K-sports today. And without further ado, let's dive in. Joining us on today's show is Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa, and hello to our K-Culture Dive viewers. I'm Bella Kim, back again to co-host and fill you all in with some exciting K-entertainment news.
Okay, let's kick off with K-Enter News then, Bella. So we're going to start with some K-pop artists that are taking over the global stage.
Right, so K-pop stars Stray Kids and Blackpink's Jennie electrified audiences as they headlined the Governor's Ball Music Festival 2026, one of the biggest music festivals in the U.S. Stray Kids and Jennie performed as headliners on the second and third days of the festival, which was held from June 5th to 7th in New York City. Stray Kids fired up the crowd with their hit songs including Domino, Chick Chick Boom, and Ceremony. Tens of thousands of fans sang along as the group delivered their signature high-energy performance. Jennie also showcased her star power during a 60-minute set. She opened with Filter and even surprised her fans with an unreleased track before closing the show with her hit song, Like Jennie. The Governor's Ball is one of New York's main summer music festivals that features some of the world's biggest artists as headliners. Recently, we've been talking a lot about K-pop artists performing at major music festivals worldwide, and we can definitely feel K-pop's influence growing in the global music market.
Right, and Bella, we are going to continue with some K-pop stars, and they are receiving some special recognition.
A Korean male solo singer Ooze and a rookie girl group Kiki gained international attention after being praised by a major American music publication. Kakao Entertainment announced that two artists from its sub-labels, Yidam Entertainment and Starship Entertainment, were selected for the Fader's 30 Best Albums of the first half of 2026. Ooze made the list with his first full-length album, Archive 1, released this March. The Fader described the album as a refreshing contribution to K-pop, highlighting its 17 tracks that seamlessly blend from rock, ballad to pop genres. Ooze has built a diverse musical career since his debut back in 2014 through both group and solo activities. He recently gained renewed popularity with his hit song Drowning and is currently meeting fans across the globe through his world tour.
It's been remarkable how Drowning has given another whole new wave of momentum for Ooze. And you also mentioned Kiki, so what about them?
Yes, Kiki also secured a spot on the list, proving their global potential. The Fader called the group one of the most exciting K-pop acts and praised their second mini-album, The Lulu Pack, for reinterpreting Y2K influences while connecting the past and present of K-pop. Kiki just debuted last year, but have expanded their fan base with their hit songs, including I Do Me and 404. It seems like both Ooze and Kiki are expected to further strengthen their presence in the global music market with their distinctive music styles.
It sure does. And our final Enter story today is on a Korean film that's going to be released soon, and it's not just any film.
I know. Director Na Hong-jin's new film, Hope, will be released on July 15th here in Korea, kicking off its run during this summer's blockbuster season. The film carries a production budget of around 70 billion won, that's about 46 million US dollars, making it one of the biggest Korean film projects ever. Hope follows villagers fighting to survive after an attack by a mysterious entity. It's director Na's first feature film in nearly a decade since The Wailing. The star-studded cast lineup includes Hwang Jung-min, Jo In-sung, and Jung Ho-yeon. The film even stars Hollywood actors like Michael Fassbender and also Alicia Vikander. Hope was invited to compete at this year's Cannes Film Festival. We've talked about it several times on our show as well, and have been pre-sold to distributors in more than 200 regions and countries, setting a new record for a Korean film. With strong international interest already secured, industry experts are calling Hope one of the biggest films to watch this summer.
I've been hoping for this release date to come out soon. So July 15th it is.
Yes.
Thank you for that information, Bella, and stick around.
Will do.
All right, and now it's time to go over to our AI anchor, Arirang, for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Sua. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. Foreign visitor spending linked to Korean cultural activities reached a record high in April. According to the Korea Tourism Organization, spending reached 1.328 trillion won, or approximately $873 million, marking the highest monthly total ever recorded. The figure was up nearly 55% from a year earlier. The Korea Tourism Organization said spending by foreign visitors saw particularly strong growth in shopping, fashion, and dining. The analysis, based on foreign visitors' credit card spending, covered tourism and K-culture-related activities such as attending performances, shopping, and engaging with K-fashion and sports, while excluding lodging, transportation, and sectors deemed unrelated to tourism. Foreign tourist spending has risen steadily since August last year, and first surpassed the 1 trillion won mark in March on BTS's comeback. Culture Minister Cho Hyung will meet with leading theater industry figures in Seoul this afternoon to discuss key issues facing the sector. The talks will focus on ways to cultivate flagship theater production and strengthen the industry's long-term competitiveness. Starting next year, the Culture Ministry plans to expand support for high-quality productions capable of sustaining long runs, addressing a persistent challenge in which many new works fail to move beyond their initial performances. Cho said the government would actively incorporate feedback from industry professionals to help ensure that original theater productions continue to reach audiences. A major overseas exhibition featuring cultural treasures donated by the late Samsung chairman Lee Gun-hee will open in London this fall. The British Museum announced it will host the exhibition titled Korea from October 1st through January 31st, showcasing more than 2,000 years of Korean art and culture. The exhibition will feature national treasures and other key works from the National Museum of Korea, the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, and the British Museum's own collection. It will be the museum's first major Korean exhibition in 42 years, and the third overseas touring exhibition centered on works donated by Lee Gun-hee, following previous stops in Washington and Chicago. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
Not long ago on our show's K-Trend Dive segment, we talked about the growing popularity of K-beauty around the world. Well, that trend was on full display in California, where hundreds of shoppers lined up and some even camped out overnight for the chance to experience Korea's biggest beauty retailer in person. Our Jong Ye-rim files this report.
Long lines formed outside Olive Pasadena on May 29th. Hundreds of eager shoppers queued around 4 city blocks just to step inside the retailer's first official U.S. store. Inside the crowded store, customers were introduced to a distinctly Korean beauty experience. The store features free AI-powered analysis of individual skin conditions, along with programs where visitors can receive one-on-one consultations and skincare lessons.
It was actually really insane, I feel. But there were already people lining up, like camping outside of Olive Young to stay overnight. That was really fun. But I feel like for me specifically, I ran towards the sunscreen station.
The thing I feel like is the biggest difference is that experience, the skin analysis, the scalp analysis, full sinks, right? Where you can really test out the products. You're going to find something that's actually going to work for like your skin or your hair.
This enthusiasm in the United States is a direct reflection of an ongoing trend among young people that can be felt daily on the streets of Seoul. For foreign tourists, these Olive Young shopping bags filled with Korean beauty products are the ultimate souvenir. And looking at the number of visitors coming in and out of one of the retailer's largest stores in Seoul, it's easy to say going global hasn't been a coincidence. K-Beauty has captured Western consumers by offering gentle, natural alternatives like salmon-derived PDRN and barrier-repairing formulas at highly affordable prices. South Korea's cosmetic trade surplus topped an unprecedented $10 billion this year. The government is now raising its 2030 market target to 400 trillion won, or roughly $260 billion.
K-beauty may have initially grown on the popularity of K-pop and K-dramas, but its global success today is driven by technological innovation and product quality. With Korean beauty brands continuing to perform strongly overseas, exports could soon surpass $15 billion.
Olive Young plans to launch its second branch in Los Angeles later this month, and all eyes are on how far this K-beauty frenzy can go. 정혜림, Arirang News.
On a bright summer day, lively music echoes across vast festival grounds. This is Nanjido. Today, it's one of Seoul's most vibrant destinations. But for many Koreans, the name Nanjido once evoked a very different image. This was once one of the largest landfills in the country, a mountain of human-made waste. As Seoul expanded rapidly in the 1970s, the city's waste grew just as fast. Nanjido, then a remote island on the outskirts of the capital, was turned into a massive dumping ground. For 15 years, garbage piled up relentlessly, eventually forming garbage mountains as high as a 30-story apartment building. The area became a desolate landscape plagued by foul odors, toxic gases, and environmental degradation. The transformation began in the lead-up to the 2002 FIFA World Cup, co-hosted by Korea and Japan. With the World Cup stadium taking shape beside Nanjido, authorities saw an opportunity to transform a symbol of pollution into a symbol of renewal. Engineers built massive containment barriers, sealed the landfill with protective layers, and covered it with soil. Methane gas trapped underground was captured, recycled, and converted into energy to heat nearby homes. Today, Nanjido is a thriving ecological park. Spring brings fields of flowers, autumn paints the landscape with silver reeds, and winter blankets it in snow. And now, in early summer, its green open spaces are filled with campers, concert-goers, and festival crowds. Nanjido's story is proof that even the most damaged landscapes can be reborn. Beneath these green fields lies a reminder of the past. But above them stands something even more powerful, a testament to how vision, innovation, and perseverance can transform a landfill into a living symbol of recovery and hope.
It's time for the latest in the world of K-sports. And for that, we're joined by our sportscaster, Jason Lee, in the studio. Welcome back, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We just made a quick trip to the past in that Nanjido short form video where we saw the World Cup. And there was a mentioning of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. But now we're already in year 2026, and we're going to talk about the 2026 World Cup. So probably we're going to have a preview of that. But what else are you going to talk about today?
Yeah, well, of course, also, Lee Jung-hoo had a 15-game hitting streak going into the games this morning. I'll update his streak. Plus, the second LPGA major of the year. 2 Koreans were in the top 5. I'll give details on their story, but obviously, we're going to have a lot of World Cup talk.
Okay, then let's start with the obvious World Cup preview. So we're going to have Team Korea is going to have the first game on Friday, 11 a.m. Korea time against the Czech Republic. So what's the latest?
Well, you know, it's time is the line that's used by Bruce Buffer to start off the main event at UFC events. And we are now just a few sleeps away from the main event kicking off in Mexico. So let's start by looking back at the 2 most recent matches for South Korea. Of course, they had exhibition matches in which they routed Trinidad and Tobago 5-0 before edging El Salvador just 1-0. But both games, Korea was in complete control for much of the games, although Korea didn't get their deciding goal against El Salvador until the 57th minute on a free kick by Lee Dong-kyung. But they still dominated that game, 7-0 in shots on goal. 15-3 in shots attempted, and they had time of possession, 72% advantage. So they have been playing very well in both of those games. I think, it shows positive signs. They're playing with confidence, which is very good. If there's anything interesting to report from those two games, what I found interesting is that Hong Myung-bo basically used two completely different starting lineups. And I would say neither of those were remotely close to what he'll probably go with against the Czech Republic on Friday or Thursday, depending on where you're watching. I'd say that's a little bit odd because I think most teams going into a game this big, this important, you probably want to put your best ideal lineup together just before that upcoming game. So Hong Myung-bo, I would say, did not do that until in his most recent game against El Salvador. I think it shows maybe from his perspective a lot of confidence that his team is going to be able to gel together. You could also say maybe he doesn't want to tip his hand in terms of showing the Czech Republic what his team's going to look like.
Right. And speaking of these exhibition matches, I've noticed as Sony's biggest fan that he was wearing number 13 instead of his usual number, which is number 7. So is there a reason for that?
Yeah, well, I guess he went from lucky number 7 to unlucky number 13. I don't know.
And the game was even on Friday.
Oh, yeah. It's not Friday the 13th, however.
Yes.
So, but certainly it's going to be very interesting. And this is a strategy that's employed by a lot of soccer coaches around the world. And what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to wear different numbers for their top players so that they can confuse the other team. Because sometimes, coaches before big tournaments in the World Cup, opposing coaches, they're going to tell their players, okay, watch out for number 7. That's Son Heung-min. We got to have 2 guys on him. Or watch out for number 11, Hwang Hee-chan. He's got a good right foot shot. So, stay on his right foot, make him go to his left foot, sort of thing. So they're going to coach their players to watch for certain players in a certain way. But you know what people say? Well, everyone looks the same when different races are looking at each other. So perhaps it's just about, well, that's number this. It's number rather than knowing a person by face and, their name. So in this sense, it's a strategy that's employed by a lot of coaches. And I think you'll probably see for the rest of the tournament, all the players kind of playing with different numbers from what they were playing in the exhibition games. And I think the other thing that you could say is it's maybe a disadvantage to the viewer. For us, I'll be the first to admit that's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, that's how much more annoying it is for the players on the other team as well.
Right. Whatever it takes to take the win, it's okay.
Exactly.
But let's not go too much into the details of the numbers. We don't want to reveal too much to the global audience there. But Jason, what we can do is you could give us your expectations on the starter lineup, because you did mention that the Czech Republic game against the Czech Republic is going to be different from the previous exhibition games.
In my opinion. So once again, Hong Myung-bo's making the lineup. From what I would do, which I think will be pretty close to what Hong Myung-bo would do, I think obviously you'll have Son Heung-min as your striker up top. Midfielders, I think we're looking at Lee Gang-in, we're looking at Hwang Hee-chan, Lee Jae-sung, Hwang In-bum, and I would say Jens Kastrup as a defensive midfielder. The back three, expect Kim Min-jae, Lee Gi-hyuk, and Lee Han-bum. Of course, Cho Gu-sung was injured. He is not going to be able to play. He actually flew back to Korea, so Korea will be missing him on the back line. But I think that's the defense. In goal, I think it's going to be interesting because I would go with Jo Hyun-woo. I think he's the better shot blocker. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Kim Sung-gyu got in there for a game or two, because he might not be as good at blocking shots, but he's better with the ball with his feet. And I think Hong Myung-bo has been kind of splitting both of them in the exhibitions leading up to the World Cup.
Okay, let's see what's going to happen.
Right, and we got to know our opponents. So please tell us about Czech Republic, what you expect from them as well.
Well, the Czech Republic is not a pushover team. This is supposed to be the 4th seed in the group because they went through the back door, the long way, because they didn't do well in the European group originally. So they had to play their way in. They're currently ranked 41st, so significantly behind Korea. But I would say that this is a very dangerous team. Their biggest threat is Patrick Schick, who is the striker for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. The one positive I would say for Korea is, though, that, of course, Kim Min-jae, Korea's center back, who, of course, plays for Bayern Munich, is going to be very familiar with Schick's tendencies because he's the quarterback of Korea's back line. He can not only play him better defensively, but he can also tell his defenders how they need to play players like that. So information from Kim Min-jae is key. The other players to watch for on the Czech side will be Thomas Souček, who is a tall midfielder, 192 centimeters.
Wow.
His 41 goals in the Premier League are the most by a Czech player. So he's going to be very dangerous, especially when it comes to corner kicks and set pieces. He's going to be very difficult to watch. I think another reason that I like Cho Hyun-woo in that he's a little bit taller. He's got more vertical to get up there to punch the ball away if he's going up against a player like that in a corner kick situation. One other player I'm going to mention is Pavel Suchet, who is a creative midfielder. He plays for Lyon in the French league. So another player to watch for, kind of a creative player, maybe like an Lee Jae-sung type of guy. In terms of Korea, I would say the Czech Republic, or like Korea, the Czech Republic have won their last 2 exhibition games, 3-1 over Guatemala as well as 2-1 over Kosovo going into Friday's game at 11 a.m. So this is going to be a very good, interesting match. If I'm going to make a prediction, I would say Korea 2-1. And this is going to be an important game because Mexico are the hosts of the tournament. They're in Mexico's group. That's going to be a tough game to win. So if they want to finish at least second in the group, they have to win this game on Friday.
Yes. Okay, then I'm going to say 2-0 for Korea.
2-0, all
What
right.
about you, Bella? I mean, I was going to say 2-1 because hearing those lineup for Czech, I mean, I feel like they will make us shoot. So 2-1, I would go with Jason. And your prediction is pretty good too.
I was just hoping having like 3 different combinations.
I mean, I could do 3-2 or 3-1, but Korea wins
5-0.
definitely.
All right,
wins definitely for sure.
Let's see what happens on Friday, and we're going to talk about the game next week with you, Jason.
Yes.
But we're not done yet. We're going to go into baseball. And you mentioned Lee Jung-hoo had a 15-game hitting streak, and did he reach 16?
Well, his first at-bat, he did not get a hit. His next 4 at-bats, he got hit. He was 4 for 5 today. So yes, he does extend his hitting streak to 16 games. And let me tell you about this 16-game hitting streak right now that he is. It's an absolute heater. He's hitting .508 on this hitting streak right now. That is absolutely ridiculous. 7 of those games in the 16-game streak, he has had multi-hits. And of those 7 multi-hit games, 4 of them have included at least 4 hits, including this morning. He is now batting .333 on the season. That is second best in all of Major League Baseball. He only trails Otto Lopez, who is currently hitting .336. So Lee Jung-hoo, I mean, who knows? Maybe by tomorrow he could be the #1 batter in all of baseball. He has been absolutely ridiculous as of late.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. And briefly, could you please tell us about how the other Korean baseball players are doing in MLB?
That's another story. Unfortunately, everyone else is not doing as well as Lee Jung-hoo. Kim Hae-sung, he was actually recently demoted down to AAA again by the LA Dodgers, which is just crazy because he was still hitting .259 in the majors. But that's just what it's like to be on the LA Dodgers. He'd probably be a major leaguer on 29 other teams, but this is the team that he chose to play for. He actually took less money to play for the Dodgers. Now, he actually originally signed a 3-year contract with LA, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen or anything, but I would be interested to wonder, at the least, if he might be a guy that other teams might be interested for the August 3rd trade deadline. I think he can certainly help other teams rather than playing in AAA in LA's minor league system. So we'll see what happens. Kim Ah-sung, oh boy, he has been struggling big time since being activated from the injured list. He is actually batting under 100 at just 0.96. He's actually been sitting out a lot of the games as well. He's been benched for guys like Mauricio Dubon and Jorge Mateo, who actually have been hitting a lot better. So kind of unfortunate. One last thing I'll mention about baseball, however, is you know how much I love talking about Kim Do-young. So he continues to lead the KBO in home runs with 18 on the season. This is over 60 games. So he is actually on pace to get to 43 home runs, and he, of course, hit 38 in his career breakout season a couple of years ago. So he is on pace for an outstanding year. All right. And Jason, just very quickly, you have some LPGA updates as well? Yes. We had two top 5 finishers in both Kim Se-young finishing 5th and Chun In-ji finished 4th at the LPGA's U.S. Women's Open, respectively. 4th and 5th place, not bad. Okay, sounds great. And we're going to talk about the World Cup next week because you're going to come in next week again. So absolutely. Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you. No problem. And thanks, Bella, as always. We're going to have you back here soon. Yes, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.
How to survive in Korea. Cafes. Step 1. Find a seat. Before ordering, find a seat. Laptop ID, smartphone, jacket, whatever that can mark your territory. But no bites. It's a little too big.